All right. Hey, y'all. Happy Thursday, and welcome to this January 21st rendition of What is Coaching. Tonight, I'm going to be joined with Bridget, who is a coach on our team. We met through coaching, and we have similar backgrounds and stories, and it's kind of cool how we've come together on this journey, and I'm super excited for her to share tonight because I'm getting sick of listening to myself. But I will start off. I'm Brooke King, for anybody that doesn't know me or anybody listening to the recording. And I have been a coach. In March, it'll be 7 years. And as I was just saying before we went live, I had fertility issues. I had PCOS, still suffer with PCOS, but it was causing fertility issues. And so when I finally got pregnant with my first, we went ahead and tried for my second, like right away, because I didn't know how long it would take and I didn't want them to be like too far apart. And so we had 2 kids, 2 C-sections within 18 months. And I was like in a place where I just didn't even know myself. I'm usually outgoing and social and just wanted to hide in the corner. I try to look for pictures from when my daughter was born and I can't find any of me because I just felt so self-confident and so self-conscious and did not want to be a part of anything. So I also had a career in HR for 20 years. I'm married to my husband for 10 years. I have 3 kids. They're very busy. My son plays 3 travel sports. My daughter does travel, everything as well. And then I have a 2-year-old who definitely keeps me on my toes. So, for a long time, I was doing 3 different jobs up until last August. I had been corporate climber, started off in recruiting, went to HR. And so that was for 20 years. And then I started a subscription box company 2 years ago. And then I actually ended up giving that up in August because it was taking away too much of my time here with my coaching business that I really lights my fire and gives me that burning in my stomach every morning when I wake up. So it's definitely possible to find pockets of your day. And actually, I prefer to bring busy people onto my team because they're more efficient, right? If you're busy, you know how to find time to make things happen. So I love the busy people because they know what's up. There's always time for everything. And we know how to just plan it exactly right so that you're done with everything at exactly the right time. So yeah, basically for me, it was like, I told you after I had my daughter, I was kind of in this place. My husband was up late night, saw an infomercial for T25. And if anybody's done a Shaun T program, I know you have, Kathy. When he comes into your family room, I mean, it is motivation central. And I was pissed when he first bought the CD because I was like, another CD to sit on the shelves and collect dust. But then he convinced me, and that January we started going down to the basement every single morning. 2 kids under 2, so a lot of times it was with one of them or it was with the monitor always, and we got it done. And we lost, I think, like 33 pounds combined during T25. I finally fit back into my jeans because before that I was doing like the whole shove the rubber band through the loop and around the buckle thing, and I just because I refused to wear my maternity jeans when all of my friends were in their jeans already. And so I was feeling really, really a lot better just about myself, about life. And then I saw my friend who actually met on my honeymoon in a hot tub pouring champagne for this other couple that we made get engaged. Long story, I'll tell you someday. But I saw her post something about Shaun T, or it was like a recipe. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, what are you doing? Because I had just done the Shaun T program and I still didn't even know coaching was a thing at this point. And she was like, listen to this. And what she put me on was kind of a call like this. So I definitely ask you to listen with open mind, open ears, a big old heart, and just a vision of insane opportunity, because literally I had no idea coaching was a thing. And I've kind of just jumped in, figured it out as I've gone along, and it's changed the trajectory of my entire life. So it's absolutely amazing. And we're going to get more into that for sure, but I'm going to let Bridget take the mic and introduce herself.
So I'm Bridget, and I have been coaching technically roughly for 2 years. Really though, for like 6 months since I kind of went all in. When I started and signed up under Brooke, I was 5.5, 6 months pregnant, absolutely miserable. It took 6 rounds of fertility treatments to get pregnant. I had 2 miscarriages in between there, and then my son was actually a twin and I lost him. So I was just like, lost the twin. So I was like super miserable, had no idea who I was, just in a rut, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, here's what we'll do. We'll sign up, we'll do all the things. And then my pregnancy was rough. My labor was rough. It was just rough. And then when I finally started to get back into it was actually as COVID was hitting. I was like, I've got to do something. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't recognize myself. I'm miserable. I'm taking it out on my husband. My postpartum was awful. And actually the single moment that I remember being like, I'm all in, it was in the middle of a workout. I was on with our morning crew who just like this, we're like, we log in, we say hi, we talk maybe for a minute, we hit mute, we do our own thing. And I remember in the middle of that getting an email from our fertility clinic that they were shutting down and they were canceling all future appointments. So the appointment we had scheduled to try and start the process for baby number 2 was being put on hold indefinitely because of COVID. And I remember being like, trying to sink into the corner of the room so no one could see me crying. And they all picked up on it. Everyone stopped. Everyone like rallied around me. And that was the moment where I was like, everyone needs to know about this. Everyone needs to see this community and this group of women who just want to lift everyone up. And that was when I was like, I'm going all in and I'm going to do everything I can to share this with everybody. And I remember going to Brooke and being like, I'm ready to run. And she was like, I've been waiting for you. Let's go. And now that's just what I'm doing. I like figure it out and I plan it. And I mean, people ask how I do it all the time, but I do it in like 10-minute pockets. He's going to be 2 in almost about a month. And I like literally, I mean, some days I have 30 minutes here and that's what I get in. And sometimes I have 5 minutes and I'll literally be sitting there and like doing something while he's eating. And I'm like throwing chicken nuggets on his tray. And as I'm like inviting people and like sending messages or whatever. And I just kind of figure it out.
Definitely. And so she's a mama, she's rocking it. And she mentioned a lot about going all in. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit because I started out the same way. My doctor had told me my cholesterol had hit the highest it ever was. And I have genetically high cholesterol. It's been high since I was 2 years old. But he told me I had 6 months to get it down or I was going to have to go on medicine. I hate medicine. It takes a lot for me to even take Advil. And so at the end of the workouts, if you guys ever watch, like to the end of the workouts, there's a commercial with Tony Horton about Shakeology. And it's like the checkout line. And it's so funny. And I was just like sitting there laughing and he's like, like all the fat things or the good, whatever. And so I was dying laughing. And so we actually bought Shakeology. And then I got an email saying you can save 25% because when you have a Coach account, whether or not you ever work the business for 5 seconds or ever do anything or share it with anyone, you get the discount. So 25% off. And I was like, well, of course I want a discount, no need to pay full price. So I got that on my Shakeology and then was able to lower my cholesterol. And also I jumped into coaching with the 21-day fix. And basically I was committed to the program for myself. My sister was getting married in the Outer Banks that summer. And I knew that I was going to be in a bathing suit, but also needed to fit in that bridesmaid's dress. And if you have ever worn a bridesmaid's dress, like they don't go up past a certain number and you don't they're all strapless, like my sister's younger than me. And I'm like, come on, lady, I need some straps, just had some 2 kids. But you want to look good and walking on the beach and all that kind of stuff. So I was pretty much really only focused on my own journey when I first started. And that's what we call quote unquote a discount coach. But then, you start making a couple $100 here and there, right? And you're like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. Now I can pay for my kid to do hockey, which if anybody's kids play ice hockey, you understand. Now I can buy him this stick, or I can have my daughter play travel soccer, or, you have these extra money that's like spending money. It's like fun money. And that kind of is cool, right? So you start to get a couple $100, and we call these people hobby coaches. So every once in a while you'll run a challenge group, you kind of team up with other people to do groups together. So there's not too much of a burden on any one person. And so those are like hobby coaches. They're in it, but they're definitely in it for themselves. And then they're sharing it as they feel comfortable, whatever. Then there's people that are all in coaches. That doesn't mean that they're working their whole entire life away. That means that they are die hard. They have their vision board. They have things that they want their future to look like. And a lot of times it takes a little while for people to get to this point because you just have no idea what is even possible until you get in. because once you start seeing it, it just keeps growing. And then your vision just keeps growing. And when you see other people doing things and conquering these huge milestones, it just, you can't help but to start thinking bigger for your life. And so those are what we call all-in coaches. So these are the people that are working the business. They're running challenge groups for our customers. They're running groups for, like free groups to add content and value and give people something to kind of help their life. They're talking to people. They're working with them one-on-one. They're coaching entrepreneurs is the other part of that, is they're helping their team grow actually and build their own business and their own empires. And you can be any of those at any time. And the biggest benefit of this business is that it's yours. So you can do it exactly how you want to do. If you want to take a week off, if you want to take a month off, if you want to go all in and then decide to be a discount coach and then decide to be a hobby coach and then decide to be a full-time coach, you can do any of that. And it's totally up to you. We're going to meet you wherever you're at and help you with every step of that along the way. So I remember, like I said, I was sitting on a call like this and I would just started like all the fears, like started trickling in, right? Like, oh my gosh, what if? So Bridget, what were some of your like top fears before you started?
Like, what if nobody wanted to join me? What if, my biggest thing was, what if I couldn't get vulnerable enough in these posts that I was making to like share my like journey with everybody? What if I couldn't get vulnerable enough? Because going through IVF and going through fertility, I had like put a huge wall up, like shoved everyone away, didn't want anyone to know because it was just too painful. And I just couldn't deal with it. And even to this day, I mean, he's 2 and we did fertility for 4 years before we got him. And there's still a lot of those times that I haven't even gone back to relive. So I still find myself being like, what if I can't get there? But then, I mean, Brooke is the best one who keeps telling me, she's like, but what if you succeed? Like, what's the worst if you fail? I'm like, you're right. What is the worst? The worst for me is I get healthier. I get more confident. I have this amazing support system of women who are rallying around me. And like, honestly, like, are those really bad things right now?
Right.
They're never going to be bad things. Like, me feeling comfortable is never going to be a bad thing. So totally. I just had to like figure it out and get my mind right.
100%. And, people get worried about it because they hear the coach, they think it's a commitment that, they're not going to, you can get out of it 100%. If you sign up today, figure out tomorrow it's not for you, you can 100% quit, and that's totally up to you. But like Bridget said, this community and the team, and this is where all of this comes together because we have all of the resources. We literally hand you a silver platter. We're backed by Beachbody, which is a $1 billion corporation. They hand you the entire infrastructure and they say, here, go build yourself an empire, go change your life, go do whatever with your future that you want to do. It gives you an opportunity to create this residual income. And of course it comes with a ton of fears. For me, I started when I was 40 pounds overweight. I'm like, how on earth am I going to inspire anybody to join my health and fitness team when I am just, not healthy or fit? And so that was weird for me. Right. And then I also didn't know totally how a network marketing kind of company works. So I figured I'd have to bother my friends and beg them to buy things from me. Not at all. That my like closest little circle of friends that I travel with and do everything with, none of them are on my team. I don't even talk to them about it. I'm like, they know what I'm doing. If they don't want to join me, that's on them. You know what I mean? And it's amazing who you actually end up inspiring. And I was very worried about what people were going to think. And because I wasn't on social media, I had maybe 200 friends on Facebook. I didn't even know Instagram existed. I had no idea. My little sister was on this. They're like 16 years younger than me. So she's like Instagram, person. And I just was like, I don't even know what this is. I don't know how to do this. So when I started posting, I was like, oh God, what are people thinking? What's going on? But you know what? I got so much positive feedback. I got so many people that were like, good for you for doing what you believe in. And of course there were some haters. Most of them were like family because they're always the toughest ones. Right. And like, I'd be eating a cupcake and they're like, what are you doing? Aren't you a health and fitness coach? So those kinds of things were a little bit tough and they stung a little bit, but at the end of the day, they're not paying my bills. They're not the ones that are being fulfilled. This actually fulfills me like to the brim. I absolutely love what we're able to do and this opportunity that we have here. And so of course and even sometimes now when I get vulnerable, like Bridget's saying, it's scary, right? Because you're like, oh, what are people thinking? But then you push return on your computer, you walk away and you come back and you realize that so many people are like, thank you for sharing that, because I needed to hear that, or you're not alone, or we're going through the same thing. Especially with fertility, which Bridget and I both have, stories to share there. I feel like that's a big thing that people feel. I felt the same way, is very like almost embarrassing and almost like, weird. And so I think when people feel like they're not alone, I think that's very helpful. So we teach you all of that. We teach you how to share your story, how to be relatable, how to find your avatar, how to do all of those things and be completely, genuinely, and authentically you, showing up on social media at whatever pace and consistency feels good to you. Okay, so what's your favorite part of coaching, Bridget? The community?
Yeah, definitely the community, but also now, and I think if you had asked me even probably 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't have said this answer. But for me, it's now the personal development that I'm digging into. And I'm literally like bathing in it. I'm listening to podcasts if I'm in the car. I'm literally reading every single night. Like it's constant. Even my husband is like, are you kidding me? Like, let it go. And I'm like, no, like I'm just like soaking it all in. And I think part of that is just like, again, like I struggle with my mindset. And I mean, we had a team call Tuesday night and Brooke was like, what are you struggling with right now? And I'm like, I still fall back into that. Like, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. And I'm like constantly reminding myself that like, it's not even a failure. It's going to be a success, even if it is a failure.
Right.
So the personal development and then the community is amazing. I mean,
right.
Yesterday I woke up and I wasn't feeling great. So I didn't get on with the morning crew. And I like literally texted one of them and I was like, hey, I'm getting on at noon for a workout. And she's like, all right, let me know when you're logging into Zoom. She's like, I'll do it from my desk and like just cheer you on. And like literally she did. And she made sure I like finished that workout. And I like was so it was awesome because it was a rough workout yesterday for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite part is definitely the community as well. I played, Division I basketball, so I grew up on teams my whole life, and just having that team, and it's kind of that feeling of sports, which I just love, and I love that team bonding and the camaraderie and the working on yourself and becoming the best version of yourself while pushing for goals as a team. And I think that really is something that I had no clue existed here, but now could literally never live without. It's absolutely amazing. And these people, they have your back 100%. And we are like a tribe. And what I really suffered with before this was negativity. I was the victim of everything. I made everything like some negative situation. And I feel like I'm just like in this positive rainbow world where people just want the best for you. They'll share whatever they have that could help your day get better, help you be more successful, because there's literally room for everybody wherever you want to go. And I think that's very, very cool. So
I think we're also really good at like tough love.
Yeah.
Like we don't let people slide. Like we always do it with like this super, like obviously everyone is like wants the best for you, but like you can't sit there and like BS your way through it because someone's gonna call you out on it and someone's gonna like push you to hold you accountable to be like, but are you really inviting? Like, are you really having those conversations? Are you really doing your personal development? Like, because everybody wants to see, from Brooke down, everyone wants to see you succeed and do the best, and they like know that you can't BS your way through it. So
right.
Instead of just being like, yeah, I'm doing it. Instead, like I've learned to be like, hey, like I need help with X, Y, or Z, and anybody and everybody's willing to help.
So true. And I think it's the accountability to our health and fitness, but also to our business and what we say we want there, which is awesome. It's so cool. So if you guys have any questions, I'm not seeing the chat, I don't think, but I will look at it. Oh, there it is. Just put them in there. Real quick, I'll talk about how to get started, right? So we don't just like sign you up and put you out on a on a leaf and just send you off into the ocean to figure it out. We are almost 2 into your success because we know how amazing it is. And obviously I've done it for 7 years, so I've had a lot of failures. I'm a firm believer in like, the more you fail, the more successful you're going to be, because you know what not to try again. And every time you fail, it gets you like a step closer to the right path. So every time I fail, I'm just like, cha-ching, like ring the bell. And it's been great. But so what we do is we have, when you sign up, you get access to the entire back office, which has tons of trainings, like, so when we post in the boot camps or the challenge groups, those templates are already created for us. There's tons of value in everything. We get an entire back office where we can track our orders, where we can see our, commissions, where we can see anything like that. Our entire downline, all of our customers, everyone's emails, everyone's contact information. And so there's trainings back there, but we also have team training. So I would put you in like, or Bridget or whoever your coach is that sends you here, we'll put you in the new coach training. There's some units to go through. It's very simple just to get you started and get your wheels turning. And then we do like a month-long 30-day mentorship. So you'll be in like a little pod with other people that are starting, so that you can kind of meet people, which is cool, because then you get like the little success partners, you get some, new people to kind of bond with. So you're never alone. And we kind of go through things step by step. And then you have that little pod where you can ask questions or, ask for advice or share what's working for you or anything like that. And always have that support of your teammates right behind you. Basically, everyone always says, how much does it cost, right? So to start your own business is $39.95, which when I was looking into starting businesses back in the day, it was thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a business. So for $39.95, you're handed everything you possibly could need. My suggestion though is to go with a challenge pack, because when you get a challenge pack, you're going to be able to have the entire solution right at your fingertips, which is going to be Beachbody On Demand, which basically think Netflix of fitness. All of our programs are in there. You can stream it from any smart device, and that coupled with either Shakeology or the Performance Line comes to a challenge pack price. It's usually like $140 to $160. And that, when you buy that, that's going to waive your $39.95, and you have an entire gym membership for a year through BOD, and you have 30 meals for a month. So, the price, you just can't beat it with all these things out there these days. It's just amazing. And then of course you get the community, and you get your coach, and you get all these people to help you. And then you get an opportunity to go make money. So then of course, I'm guessing your next question is, how do you make money? So we have a binary system. You will always get 25% on everything that you sell. So your commission, 25%. My husband's in sales, and I know that 25% is like the most commission I've ever heard of a company giving on everything. There's also like 9 ways that you can make money. There's fast start bonuses, there's team cycle bonus, and this is where it creates residual income. So your binary system, everybody that you add to your team or your group or your squad or whatever will fall on one of those 2 legs. All of that volume, you get paid every single Thursday, will create bonuses. And so every Thursday, you look in your bank account and there it is. And then there's also different rank level bonuses, and just like I said, 9 different ways. I still don't even know all of them. People always ask me about this, and I'm like, oh, let me go look up what all these bonuses are called, because there's like fast start, there's shake out, there's all sorts of things. My first week in the business, I made $252 because I was kind of just had no clue what I was doing. So I just invited everybody around me to come do it with me, because I like to do things with other people. My whole office kind of signed up. I went diamond, which is like our next milestone, in a month, and had some really great success right off the bat. I was making a couple $100 a month, for that first year. And then that was 2014. 2015, I was an Emerald coach, which is your first milestone that you hit as a coach. And I had some great girls on my team. We decided as a team that we were going to go for a top ranking in the company, and we did. And so that year I made 6 figures, and it's grown since. So when I was laid off from my job in HR as an HR director this past August, my plan was always to leave. But my boss, I was loyal to a T to her, and she actually passed away in April. So when they let me go, it was like, you know what? Fine. You know what? Here's the boot that I needed. And now I get to do what I love every single day and be present with my kids, which was my number one goal the second I dropped one off at daycare. So there are people making so much money in this business. I think the top coach makes $3 million a year. There's tons of coaches making 6 and 7 figures. If you want to make money in this business and live out your passion to help others, absolutely the sky's the limit, 100%. So I know talking about money is like weird and icky, but I do want to let you know that this is a real income producing thing. And if you're already, doing bod groups or already in challenge groups or already working out or already have a priority to take care of yourself, then you're already doing half the work. So all you have to do is share it and get some other people, to help them. So that is how we make money. You'll get added into our team page. It's kind of like walking into a party where you don't know anybody and everybody's so welcoming and excited. And it's kind of like, yay. And that's really fun. So I don't think there's anything else, unless Bridget, you have some final words. We can just.
My only final thought would be, if you're even remotely close to thinking about it, just jump all in, both feet, don't look back, and just ask a ton of questions, because everyone's gonna.
I totally agree with that. When people ask me questions, I love it, because I know that they're doing it,
That's like my one regret, is that I didn't jump 2 feet in wholeheartedly and do everything I could September of 2018 when I actually joined. I waited.
Right.
And I wish I hadn't. I wish I had just done it.
Well, we're plowing forward now.
Yeah, we are.
All right, guys. So my final little thing is, why not you, right? Why not you? Why continue just thinking about it or wondering what if, or being worried about all of the fears that we all have? Who knows what could happen? And if you give it your all and you truly believe in what you're doing and have a genuine heart for helping people have success, you'll have success in return. So with that, I hope everyone has an awesome night, and let us know if you have any questions. And we're so excited to see you all on the team soon.